Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to our Q&A session. I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 minutes more to start because we have 0 viewers right now. So I highly recommend you to connect if you have doubts about our application process. We receive tons of questions every day, guys. So please connect us to our website is www.startupchile.org/webinar. Okay, so you can see us there. You are going to see 2 screens. The first screen on that side is the template of the webinar, is the traditional one, and the second one is the online, the one that we are transmitting right now. Okay, so we already have 10 viewers. Thank you, guys. And we're going to answer questions through this chat, or you can ask questions to our Twitter. Remember, our Twitter is @StartupChile, and so we have tons of way of connect us. Okay, so I'm going to start telling you some things about our application process. This is application process for generation 18 already. So the generation 18 is going to join us on July this year, 2017. So we hope to see you here and you can be part of our awesome community. So the application process started in January 7th already. And we're going to end the application. No, sorry, we're started on January 17, and we're going to end it on February 7th. Okay. So don't forget that the deadline for this application process is February 7th, okay? The results are going to be at the beginning of May. I'm so sorry, guys, that it takes us a lot to review your applications, but every time that we open an application process, we receive around 1,000 applications. So each application is reviewed by 3 judges, okay? And the judges are all around the world, so all the process, it's very intensive, and that's the main reason why it takes us a lot of time, okay? So don't forget that this is the seed process. What is seed? Seed is, we're going to give you 20 million pesos, that is around $30,000, 6 months acceleration program, connections with, it's a global connection with investors, mentors, corporations, the alumni, right? So you have access to our awesome community. We have perks for you. The perks are awesome. They start from $100,000. That's a lot of money. So we highly recommend you to use our perks if you are accepted here. So that's it. That's it. We are waiting for startups that already have like at least an MVP or a prototype. You can apply with an idea, but the possibilities of getting inside the Startup Chile are very, very low because, as I told you, we received 1,000 applications and it's very competitive. So if you just apply with an idea, the possibilities that you can get in are very, very low. But you never know. But you can just apply twice to Startup Chile, so don't miss your opportunity. I highly recommend you do not apply with just an idea, okay? Remember that the application form, you just fill it once. Once you submit your application, it's done. You cannot change anything. You cannot send us email saying like, guys, I have new clients, wherever. No, the application process is just once. The form is just filled once, okay? And you have to put everything there. If you make a progress after, you cannot add it in any place. You cannot send us email, anything, okay? I'm sorry about it. Remember that we're a public accelerator program and we have to follow the terms and conditions that the Chilean government give us, okay? So remember that if you are foreign, if you're not from Chile, you have to spend at least 6 months in our country working in your startup. The team leader is the one that has to be here for at least 6 months. We are recommending teams that they just see Chile as an asset for your business. If you want to go to another country, it's good for you, but we really want to attract people that see Chile as an asset for your business. Okay, so we're receiving some questions already inside the chats on Twitter. I think Fran is going to help me with that. But I'm going to read you the most popular questions that we are always receiving in our email, okay? Can my video have more than 2 minutes? No, just 2 minutes, okay? We are looking for very simple videos. Please don't spend money on your video. Keep it simple. I highly recommend you to write a script so you can check and read your ideas first. Share the script with people that maybe they don't know about your business, and if they can understand, that's a good script, so you can record your video. With a cell phone, it's perfectly fine. Try to don't do animations. Don't I think the most important time that you have to spend creating the video is the part of where you write the script. Okay, don't lose time in edition. Don't lose time like doing it perfectly with animations. We want to go for you guys. We are looking the team. We are looking the product. A lot of people that is very centered in like technological products with patents, and like, I don't want to show my product. You can just show a black box, okay? It's fine. You can share what you have without giving us the secret sauce. Be careful with that. We don't want the secret sauce. We just want to check that your product is fine and your team is the correct one. So don't get complicated with the video, okay? And you cannot spend more than the video cannot be longer than 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys. Remember, the judges are checking your application. They have to check all the form, all the video, and every video that has more than 2 minutes, it's out. Nobody's going to score it, okay? Can be the video in Spanish? No. Well, yes, it can be in Spanish, but we don't recommend you to do that. Remember, this is a global program for global entrepreneurs, and that's the reason why it's in English. I speak Spanish. My English is horrible. I really don't like it, but we don't care. We just want to connect you guys with the world, and the worldwide language is English. That's the reason why the program is in English, okay? Even when almost everybody here speaks Spanish. So the video you can do it in Spanish, but we don't recommend you to do that. We have around 300 judges around the world, 300 judges. So if you send a video in Spanish or you do your application in Spanish, who is going to evaluate that, okay? So be careful about it. If you are going to do the video even if I'm not recommending you to make your video in English, in Spanish, if you're going to do it in Spanish, we highly recommend you to put subtitles in English, okay? You can do that. I'm going to allow you to do that. So you can make your video in Spanish, but put the subtitles in English, okay? That's just for the judges and just because it's a global program, okay? Can I fill the form in Spanish? Again, the same answer. Yes, you can do that, but you can lose the chances of being selected. Why? Because our judges are from around the world, okay? And maybe they don't speak Spanish. So if you if you write your application in Spanish, nobody's going to understand it, okay? So be careful with that, guys. Think again. Use Google Translation. You have tons of programs to translate for free text. So use that tool. Maybe somebody that's a friend of you can check your English. A lot of people too is scary about, oh, I'm Chilean or I'm from Latin America and I really don't know how to speak English. I'm very worried about it. Maybe I can move a little bit with the English. We have we have been like working with Chileans and with Latin Americans that they don't know how to speak English, and after 6 months with the program with Startup Chile, they speak English and the basics to share with the community, to pitch their startup in 3 minutes. So you can do it. You just have to learn and be open and with the willingness to learn. Okay. So this barrier, we know that you are an entrepreneur. We know that it's hard for you. You're working in your business. You're doing the best for pay salaries, for raising funds. Okay, so the language barrier is just one more that you have to cross. If you are really creating a product that is global and you really are passionate about your startup, the language maybe it's a mental barrier, but you cannot allow to do that. Okay, so just throw away that barrier and go forward with the form and go and speak. It doesn't matter if it's like Tarzan English or whatever. Okay, everybody has a chance to learn here. The other question that a lot of people ask us is about ex-sappers, former people that already participated in Startup Chile, and they ask, if I went to Startup Chile once in another generation, can I apply with another company, with another startup? No, you cannot apply. Okay, if you received already the $30,000, the 30K to come to our program, you cannot apply again. Okay, remember, once you were from Startup Chile, you are always going to be from Startup Chile, so you cannot not apply again. Just once. You're always going to belong to our community. Okay. So another question that is, I already apply with the same startup twice, but I want to apply with another one. Can I do it? I'm sorry, guys, but you can just apply to our program 2 times. Okay, so that's the reason why if you have an idea and you're not sure, I highly recommend you to wait for the new application process. You can just apply 2 times with the same idea. Remember that we have a register of everybody that applied with an idea with the startups, so we track all of you, and we know that if you're applying more than twice. So think about your application process. What's the best for you? What's the best for your startup? Okay. Remember that we have an email that is contact@startupchile.org, where you can ask all the things you want about our application process. But we're receiving about 300 to 400 questions every day, right? So it can take us longer than we would like to. And we highly, and the questions really are always the same ones. So please check the terms and conditions. Remember that in the same website, we have the webinar where I'm talking with Conrad there, and you can see like it's a very interactive webinar with the most frequent questions and everything. If you don't still don't understand that, you can go and check the frequent questions in our website too. So if you really want an answer in less than, I don't know, 24 hours, I highly recommend you guys check the terms and conditions first, check our webinar, check our frequent questions, and if you still have a doubt, go and ask through our email. Okay, but again, the questions that are already, the answers that I already give to you are like super normal, so try to don't send those questions to our contact email. Okay. Okay, remember that if you are watching us through our web, make your question on #SAPwebinar on Twitter, okay? And you can go to our YouTube channel too, and make the questions offline, okay? So I don't know if we have more questions, guys. I already cover all the most frequently questions that we have here. And do we have more questions, Fran? Not yet? Remember, use our hashtag on Twitter, okay? Is hashtag SAP webinar, okay? So you can make your questions there. Don't be afraid about the English. Okay, we have a question here. Okay, so Sebastian, can you explain a little more about the person who can write the recommendation letter? Good question. So the person, it doesn't matter it has to be somebody that knows you, okay? That knows your company, knows you as an entrepreneur. Okay, we are not looking for like very famous people with like very good entitlements. Okay, it's just a person that has been like working with you, following you as an entrepreneur, following you as a startup, and can talk about your skills, just your abilities to make your business or to grow as an entrepreneur. Okay, we're not looking for famous people, don't worry about it. But again, be careful with the recommendations letter, because we always have the problem of the recommenders take longer than we would love to, and once the form was sent, once the application process is done, we cannot receive anything. Okay, so be careful. If you're going to submit your application, you have to put the recommendation letter there. Okay, if you add it later, we cannot receive it. Okay, so be careful about it. Do we have more questions? I have another one. Let me check. I'm reading. Okay. Okay, so it say that like, we won't have our Chilean legal entity until end of February. Any recommendation how to complete the application form? Yeah, sure. Apply as a natural person. Okay. I recommend you to do that. Francisco Amigo. Nice. Francisco, he was asking about what happening if we don't have the legal structure yet. So apply as a person. Okay. You can. This is the first time in our application process that you can apply as a person or as a incorporated company in Chile. In Chile, okay, incorporated company in Chile. So you can apply with, if you don't have one, you can apply with the other one. Remember that if you're going to apply with a legal with an incorporated company here in Chile, it cannot have more than 36 months. Okay, it cannot be older than 36 months. Okay, Nicolas Pavlov. You're welcome, Sebastian. Nicolas Pavlov is asking, is necessary to have to be incorporated at the moment of that you apply to the program? No, as I said to you, you can apply like in both ways. You can apply as a person, like Nicolas Pavlov, as a team leader, or you can apply as an incorporated company in Chile. You choose which one do you prefer. If you have, do you have more questions, guys? Remember, use the hashtag SAPwebinar on Twitter, okay? We're going to be here with you. And if you still have questions, remember that we're going to have another Q&A 24 hours before the deadline of the application process. That is going to be Monday, February 6th at 1:30 p.m. Okay, so 24 hours before our application process, we're going to have a new Q&A Monday, 6th of February at 1:30 p.m. Okay. Do you have? You're welcome, Nicolas. Do you have more questions? Remember, we are using the hashtag SAPwebinar. Okay. Fran, do we have more questions? Dan, We're all set, I think. No more questions? Okay, we're going to stay here for 5 more minutes, but remember to use the hashtag SAPwebinar, okay? SAPwebinar. Don't use the @StartupChile because we cannot read it, okay? Send the hashtag, use the hashtag. Okay. Okay, we have another one. I applied once, but I wasn't the project leader and left the startup even before the process starts. Can I apply now? Fabian Prado. Yes, he can apply, right? Yeah. Yeah, because you were not. Yeah, you can apply, Fabian. You can apply again because you were not the team leader, and if you apply now, you are going to be the team leader with another startup. Okay, so it's fine. You can apply. You are already in our records, but we're going to check that you were not the team leader and it's a different startup. So don't worry, it's fine. Okay. I hope I answered your question, Fabian. Nicolas Pavlov again. How can you validate a service platform? Nicolas, I don't understand your questions. What are you trying? What do you mean with that? Tell us. How do you validate a service platform? In terms of MVP or in terms of what? I'm going to wait for Nicolas to give that answer. Guys, do we have more questions? Thank you, everybody. I don't know, I can just see that we have like 20 viewers or something. If you want to tell me where do you come from, I will really appreciate that. Just to check where are you guys. If you can send me your info through the chat, it would be awesome. Okay. So in terms of MVP, how can you validate a service platform? You don't have to have the software to validate a platform or a service platform, okay? Maybe you can create a Google Drive or a simple way. How can you really create your MVP? Is like, how can you really connect with your clients and add value to your clients and check if your service that you are proposing are correct, right? So for me, the best way to approach to check a product or a service is just talking with potential client and consumers or users. Show whatever you have. It doesn't matter if it's a paper or something, but something that can really transmit what you are selling. And you just need to check again and again and tell your story. It's like to create a pitch, just to finish when you start with the difference between prototype and MVP is that a prototype is just the product, all right? It's like the thing that you are going to create. An MVP is when you already have the product plus the business model. That's the main difference, right? So the prototype is the most basic thing without a business model, and the MVP is when you already have your prototype plus your business model behind. So that is when you connect with your potential clients, customers, or users, and you start to talk about it. But it doesn't matter if your MVP is just paper with a business model behind, but if the users, the client can get it, you are building something with value, okay? And the MVP is just to have feedback. The open betas, the alphas, the closed betas stages are for that, just to have feedback about your user, your clients, your product, and your business model, okay? I don't know if I replied that question. Okay. Where in the application do I have to write about the impact in Chile? Okay, so we changed a little bit the form. So I don't have this, I have it here. Wait, give me 1 second. Sebastian Celedon is asking. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have stages to check your to filter to make a screen and select the startups. Okay, the first big screen is the 300 judges around the world. In that stage, the judges, each application is scored by 3 different judges. Okay, 3 judges score an application and they create a final score. In that stage, we have 2 different criteria. Okay, the first criteria, that is the 50% of your application, is about the project, the startup. 25% is the product or service, 25% is the market and your competitive advantage. That's the first 50%. The other 50% is about your team. 50% is 25% is about the team leader, and 25% is about the team. Okay, so the judges analyze 50% the project, 50% the team. After the judges analyze and score the 1,000 applications and they score all the startups, they generate a ranking. Okay, and inside that, from that ranking, we as a Startup Chile, we pick the first 150. Okay, those first, we don't know what nationality they are, we don't know the industries, we don't know the startup, we don't know anything. That's the first time where Startup Chile has connections with the application process. Okay, so we take the 150, and inside those 150, the Startup Chile team is just 5 members of the team. It's the area bosses, the people that is very expert in startups and entrepreneurship. We interview you through Skype. Okay, it's a 15 minutes interview. We interview you guys, and that is where we are going to check what kind of impact are you going to create in Chile. Okay, if you're going to create your headquarters here, is your market in Chile, maybe you're going to put your back office here, you're going to hire people, you're going to test products or wherever. We analyze as a Startup Chile teams, the first 150 startups scored by our judges, and we ask you that question. It's in the forum, but you have to keep it. The judges are not going to score that question. Okay, it's going to be us. Why? Because we received already more than 1,400 startups, and believe me, we know who really can add value to our country, and we want a startup to stay here in Chile, right? So we're really trying to attract the right ones. And judges around the world, maybe they don't know how to evaluate that, and we can do it. Okay, so that's the reason why. Okay, we have another. Hansel Palmer, he's telling me about beautiful earrings, Rocio. Thank you. They're very pretty, made in Chile. Okay, so when exactly in July the program starts? Okay, I have it here. Give me 1 second. Okay, I have it here. It's July 3rd. Okay, July 3rd. So the first days of July, if you're accepted in Startup Chile, we're going to begin the program. In July 3rd, you have to be here. We start with a mandatory activity. Okay, so you have to be here. We don't do exceptions, guys. Guys, I have this is we receive tons of these emails. Is there any option to go to the headquarters of Startup Chile to get a little mentorship or a review of a project? Guys, we would love to, but we cannot do it. Okay, Ignacio, I'm really sorry about it, but remember that we received 1,000 applications, and at the beginning of the process, the judges are in charge of evaluating your product or service, not the Startup Chile team. So unfortunately, we cannot give any kind of mentorship or review a project. Okay, the only thing that I can give you feedback, and it's always the same, is like, remember, your product or service have to be think as a global market. Okay, don't think about your community, your stage, or even your country. We go further than that. We want global startups. Okay, so if you're filling your application process, please, the market is a global one, at least Latin America. Okay, at least Latin America. Think bigger. We want to change that on Chileans, guys. That's the first, the market. It's a global startup. The second one, it has to be technological based startups. Okay, so be careful about it. We receive some applications with traditional businesses, like I'm applying my restaurant, I'm applying, I don't know, maybe I'm selling cookies or whatever. That's not that's another kind of programs can fund that, can accelerate those kind of entrepreneurs, but we are just looking for technological based startups. Okay, so my advice for you, Ignacio, will be like, check your market. If it's a global one, check if you have a technological based product. And remember, the third advice that I'm always giving to the entrepreneurs is like, you have to create a balance on your team. Okay, what happens is sometimes a team is just made by like just business people. Wrong. Maybe just tech people. Wrong. You have to create a balance. Okay, so we're always telling that the perfect balance for us is somebody like with the technological background, another person with the technology, with the business background, and maybe a third one that can give you the contact with the user experience or with the marketing. Okay, but try like to generate like a very balanced team. Those are my three main advices for you guys. They were the teams that we are looking for: technological based startups, global markets, and the balance inside the team. Sorry, I cannot receive you in my office, Ignacio. Okay, how many teams receive interview and when will they be? Okay, let me check that. When are we going to have the? Yeah. So we have different processes, right? I don't have the exact dates here, but at the beginning we received around 1,000 applications. Those applications are evaluated for around 3 months. 2 months are for the judges, okay, because that's the most hard part of the process, the judges. So we have the judges, and the judges select, make the ranking. We take those 150. From those 150, the interviews start 2 months after. Fran, do you have the dates? Okay, so okay, the second week of April, so around April 17, we start with the interviews. That take us, we're very fast. We interview the 150 in just 1 week. And after that, we present to the Chilean government the 100 that we really like it, and they are the final ones that decide who is able or not to come to Startup Chile. So the interviews are going to be the around 17 of April. Okay. Okay. Let me check this. We're working in our MVP. I'm not sure if it will be ready by February 7th, but surely in February. Is that a downside? It's an MVP or a prototype? It's an MVP. Is your prototype plus your business model? If you already have a prototype and you are testing it, it's fine. You can apply with it, okay? And that's another recommendation that I always give online is show your effort, guys. I think that's one of the most important part for us. It's like, don't just mention that my MVP is done, or I have, I don't know, 3 clients. Show the effort behind that. It's like, you know what, I don't have clients yet, but I'm talking with 100 people. Or I didn't sign any agreement with any company yet, but I'm talking with these companies, or whatever. Show the effort. A 0 client with 0 effort is one thing. A 0 client with 100 conversations behind is a completely different thing. They are still 0, but the effort behind is the thing that we really, really love. We know that doing business is hard. Getting your first clients is hard, and getting users is harder, but show us the effort. Show us the effort. Please don't put just numbers, okay? Okay, Nicolas, do you accept, how do you translate that? Startups that are just with one team, with one, yeah, like a solo founder or one person. Yes, we do accept those, but you have to have very like high skills and very rich profile. It's not frequent at all, because as I told you, for us the most important part of it is to create a team, is to create a balanced team. We do have solo founders, but they are weird. Maybe one per generation. We accept 90 teams, 100 teams per generation, but finally arrived at 90. And from those 90, we always have like maybe 1. Okay, so yeah, you can apply. You can apply as just 1 person, but it's not common. And remember that 25% of the selection criteria in the first filter is about the team members. If you don't have any team, you are losing that 25%. That's it. We're done with the questions. So remember, the application process is until February 7th. Please remember that the results are going to be at the beginning of May. The new generation, the generation 18, the one that you are applying, starts on July this year, and you have to have here for at least 6 months in a startup Chile. You love us or you hate us. Just 2 things, okay? And remember that if you have more questions, is our email, contact@startupchile.org, but read the term and condition first, check our webinar first, check the frequent questions first, because we're receiving around 300 to 400 questions per day, and they're always the same ones. So try to don't do that. And if you still have questions, you can use your email. And finally, if you got nervous and you really want to talk with us, our next Q&A is going to be 24 hours before the deadline. That is Monday, February 6th at 1:30 p.m. Okay? Chilean time is GMT -3. Okay? That's it, guys. We're done. Thank you so much. You didn't tell me where do you come from. Shame on you. You should put it on our chat. So thank you guys for connecting us. I hope to see you here in July, and good luck with your application form. Okay? See you guys. Bye-bye.